Hello, everyone. Oh, I forgot my mic. Hold on. I got to get the better mic. It's been crazy. So hold on just 1 second. Oh, so bad, guys. So bad. Let's get this fixed. Yes. So hopefully this is the much better mic. This is a much better mic. Okay. There we go. Can you guys hear me better? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ground Report. My name is Brittany, reporting to you directly from Amsterdam. And I thought I would wear, to start the video, my little Holland Cooper beanie that I got in Bister Village. I think it's so cute. So I just thought I'd show that off here real quick for a second. There is so much going on. It's actually really almost difficult at this point to keep up. We actually have currently 2 state visits going on right now. One obviously in Amsterdam, which where I was earlier today. We also have one that is starting in Spain and Italy. Well, between Spain and Italy, with Spain arriving earlier today. So much going on. And oops, there we go. Sorry. I muted myself by accident. Yep. And so anyways, so so sorry guys. I just got the sound back on. It's been crazy. So guys, I just to explain, so I've been talking a little bit and you guys haven't heard me. So we will start again. So guys, I am currently in Amsterdam and I went to the welcoming ceremony earlier today for the Portuguese president. And so currently the state banquet is going on. I did not get credentials for that. So sadly, I have no content to share with you guys from that. Although, I mean, I will share a picture that we've gotten, or one of the pictures that we've gotten, a little bit later. But today has been so busy. It's been busy the last couple of days because we do have actually 2 state visits going on right now. One between obviously the Netherlands and Portugal, and then there's going to be one between Spain and Italy. So King Felipe and Queen Letizia have just arrived in Italia for that. We also have the Swedish Nobels this evening. And so that is going on. We had Catherine's Christmas carols on Friday, a state visit between Denmark and Egypt on Friday and Saturday. Then we had the Notre-Dame reopening on Saturday, and royals were there. And we have like so many things that it's really hard to keep up with. So, guys, I am looking forward to sort of, I guess, wrapping some of it all up for you guys. And of course, Polo dropped today, Harry and Meghan's new reality TV show. I will be finishing it up here after we're done with this live stream. And then I'll be going back, editing it, and doing a video and getting it up to you guys probably this evening because I got thoughts. It's pretty boring, which I anticipated. And none of the people are particularly interesting. The storyline's kind of meh. And yeah, Harry and Meghan don't know how to make content. They don't know how to make content. So that is just wildly apparent that they are very inept at this. So, guys, anyways, that is what we're looking at for this evening. But I will say hi to everybody. I got Deborah. Good afternoon. We got Azima as well. Grace. We got Inz from South Africa. We got Lolala from Sweden. Azima says, how many royal families still exist like monarchies? So there are like 10 reigning monarchies in Europe. So let me see if I can name them off the top of my head. So we got England, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, got the Netherlands, Spain. We have Monaco. We have Luxembourg, Liechtenstein, and Belgium. There we go. That's pretty good for me. So those are the currently reigning monarchs in Europe, but there's a lot of little monarchies. Like Portugal used to have a monarchy. We have a lot of little princes in Germany because Germany used to be it used to be a series of between like dukedoms and principalities and all sorts of things. So Germany as a modern country coalesced into one entity is actually sort of a new phenomenon. It's actually technically younger than the United States. The same thing with Italy, which used to be a series of city-states, basically. So very interesting. So yeah, there are a small amount of monarchies, just 10 that are still reigning, at least in Europe. Other places, of course. And then you also have a lot of defunct monarchies as well. Nika said, hello, everyone. Carol said, hello, Brittany and all from Southwest Florida. Heather said, hello, everyone, as well. Grace says, Azima, do you work for Brittany? She does not. But yes, we have Meta Table. Hi, y'all, from Iowa. We got Marjorie from London. Grace, she reads your questions all the time. I was curious. No, it depends on how many questions somebody asks. Sometimes people ask a lot of questions, and so they come up a lot. Sometimes people don't ask so much. So, yeah. Lizzie, B, hello. We have Chantal, good evening from the Netherlands. I'm enjoying your clips and interview with Dan. You should live in Europe. We love you here. Why, thank you. I would not mind. There's more of like family reasons why I probably wouldn't right now, but have I thought about it? Yes. The weird complexity is that like if you're kind of self-employed, that's kind of a bit harder for visa status and everything. So, yeah. Why do that says, yay, actually made a Crown Report live. Hello from super snowy Manitoba. Kelly says, hi, Brittany. Hope you're all having a fabulous trip. Why, thank you. I am having a fabulous, yet also very busy trip. Actually, this evening, right before the live stream, what I wanted to do, because we have an event tomorrow that's going kind of late. And so I will be coming back here a little late. It's one I'll be covering. And then when it comes to the day after, I kind of have pseudo plans, although I need to make sure I can still keep my hotel room for an extra night because Queen Maxima's wedding dress is on display here in the Netherlands, but it's kind of far away up north and I'd like to go see it, but I really need I don't want to take all my luggage. I come to every hotel room and I explode with stuff. So like if I could just leave all my stuff here and take like 5 things, I'm like so happy. But I'd love to get a look at her wedding dress because I think that would be great. And so yeah, it's a part of a show called I Do. So since I'm here, I got time because I wasn't sure what I was going to do in Germany because I kind of need to move towards Berlin, but I don't want to take a plane. Like, please, Lord, no more planes. No more planes until I leave. Being quite honest here. Meta Table says, yay. Seriously, with a question mark, says, welcome in the Netherlands, Brittany. Why, thank you. Yes, I enjoy being, well, basically anywhere. And I enjoy being here in the Netherlands. It's been a little bit since I've been here. Last time I was here, it was in 2017. Well, no. I was here last year in The Hague, but I wasn't in Amsterdam. I was technically was at Amsterdam station for a hot second, like the central station, but very hot second because I had to run through there quite a few times with all my luggage. Anyways, but when it comes to Amsterdam, this is the first time since 2017 that I've really been in Amsterdam. So that's kind of exciting. Carol said, busy season for the world. Yes. So when I initially made this plan, I was mostly thinking of the Swedish Nobels and Catherine's Christmas carols. Now, of course, all of that just got blown completely out of the water. And I just realized that the Crown Report is not me generally responding to the comments first. And I just realized that that's how sort of out of my brain I am right now. So we'll just do it this way, though. Hey, maybe we won't make this like one more of official one. This will be more of a casual, the Crown Report. So yes, we have a Martine. We got, I believe I see tradition here and other things in Vive la France, but I do not know French. So I'm so sorry. Charelle says, Brittany in the Netherlands, I missed. Lizzie says, remember to hit the like button. Yes. Asima says, not watching the polo show. I don't think a lot of people will. And I don't think they'll make it through much of it if people like casual watchers, maybe. I'm putting it at 1.5 times. I'm bored though. Aram Scout says hello from Mexico. We got Jess. Hi from Brittany from rainy Boston. We got Azima here and Becky, Japan. Yes, Japan still has a monarchy. Lola La says, I won't watch polo either. We has Queen of Green says, hi from chilly Spain. I feel like it's chilly everywhere here. And it's like, it's the chill that kind of settles in your bones after a while. I was really chilly today, to be quite honest. Alinda says, hi from Dubai in the Netherlands a lot because my husband is from there, but staying in Dubai for Christmas this year. Oh, have fun. Angela says, bless you for watching polo so we don't have to. It is hard to get through sometimes. Honestly, I was doing 12 things though at once. And we'll get to those 12 things. So Aisha says hello from Puerto Rico. We got Nancy as well. Jill C doesn't even have Netflix. We got It's Only Me Watching. Yoo-hoo, I made it at the beginning. Yes. Carol says that Netflix should sign Sarah Ferguson instead of Harry and Meghan. Sarah has written books and produced Young Victoria. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. We have Emily W. We got Gretchen the First. Hi, all taking a break from juicing limes to make sorbet. Ooh. Wow, we got Sandra. Hello, Brittany. Good evening from the Netherlands. Oh, Marjorie, are there any updates on Marius in Norway? Yes. So let's go ahead and get into kind of the crux of why we're here, which is more the Crown Report type of things. So yes, I totally forgot what this was when I started. It's hard, guys, when you're like, you don't really have your days anymore. Everything's sort of changing all the time. I've actually been to 4 countries in 7 days. So it's been a lot of travel. So my mind a little mixed here. But we do have some updates from the case of Marius. So I've talked about Marius quite a bit. Obviously, he is the son of Crown Princess Mette-Marit. And the big question is that will he, I don't know, stay? Like what is going on with him? So this is the latest sort of that we have is that he has violated the restraining order against him yet again. So, and he has already left rehab. So I want to point this out here because if you've already left rehab, you don't really want to change. You don't really think you need rehab. He's not going to change. He doesn't think he needs to. And that should be deeply concerning to authorities, to his parents. I mean, they've probably been dealing with this for years at this point, but the guy clearly doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to change. And I really want to point this out because I know a lot of people, let's see. I did think, and I'll say a little bit of criticism here is like, I think Catherine was recently talking about when it comes to I can't remember if it was addiction or mental health, that it's like something to a certain extent that you can't control. I just don't think that's right. Some people choose to be an addiction, and I think that's kind of where Marius is right now. He is choosing an unhealthy lifestyle. He has rebuffed every attempt to remediate that and go a different direction. So he has decided basically that this is where he wants to be. These are the things he wants to do. And that should be deeply concerning because you can't change your behavior unless you acknowledge that something went wrong. So I like how they call this a pitch dark cloud hangs over the Norwegian monarchy. And so it has kind of goes over the case. He has been arrested 3 times. And then he is being accused and investigated for very serious offenses against women. And so let's see where the newest thing is. So CEO Korg has previously reported that Holmby, in consultation with the Crown Prince couple and his father, has chosen an institution in the UK for his rehab treatment. Now, I mean, I sort of get it. I mean, obviously, Europe, most things are within a flight that's about 2 hours or so, maybe more, depending on where you're going. But I really don't think going somewhere else is going to fix the problem here unless he's basically cycled through all rehab facilities in Norway at this point. And so essentially they're like, okay, well, we're going to have to search somewhere else because that's the only place they can go. And apparently though, he has already checked himself out. And he has contacted, it seems, one of the women who he has a restraining order against, or multiple of them. So, this poor, I mean, I feel sorry for him in a way because he's clearly broken and like in terms of there's something going on there. But at the same time, too, he seems to have made this decision that he doesn't want help. And if he doesn't want help, then he'll have to deal with the consequences. And you got to think, too, at least what I think is that he's sort of been able to get away with this for a really, really long time. And I just don't think at this point he hasn't felt enough of the consequences to actually really think he needs to change. And so to me, it comes across that he has been indulged for a really, really long time. And it's resulted in this, which is very, very sad. Very, very sad. So Let's see. So it's uncertain whether Marius has chosen to check into the rehab again. So he checked himself out. It was not long ago that Seok.org's editor-in-chief published an open letter in which he showed understanding and respect, but also explained that this is extremely frightening that Homely apparently shows no remorse for the harm he has caused. And I think that's incredibly true. He doesn't show any remorse. He doesn't seem like he feels bad about it. He doesn't seem like he wants to change. And that's a huge, huge problem. That is a huge, massive, glaring problem for him and his family because it is reflecting badly on them. And I think this goes back in some ways to I think he was probably overindulged, maybe spoiled a bit as he was growing up. And now we sort of had this catastrophic situation. So, guys, not looking particularly good for Marius at this point. So let's move on to greener pastures here. And so we may just go through a bit of my Twitter feed because that might be easiest because I've been trying to post as much, repost as much. Sometimes I just do that to help me keep track of what's going on during the week. So if you guys are ever curious, now we'll have better pictures coming soon, but this is the looks we have from Queen Maxima. She has worn this look several times. And then we have Katharina Amalia. I can't decide if I like this dress yet. I'll have to see it a bit better looking before I decide if I like it or not. And I'm not sure I like her hair either. I'm not sure I like her hair, but she's still finding her footing. I'm loving that she's doing these state functions. And so, seriously, seriously with a question mark. I kept saying you gave a question mark. That's not going to work. Seriously with a question mark gave a tip. Welcome to Amsterdam. By the way, traveling by train in the EU is easy. You can take ICE from Amsterdam to Berlin. Hope you have lots of fun here. Aw, thank you so much, Kim. You are so kind. I really do appreciate it. I am enjoying my time here so far, and I'm like looking forward to the next steps. And I love that you can take trains here, and they're not that bad. United States, for some reason, I would never take a train, but it takes you a long time to get anywhere in the United States by train. Just big country. Yeah, it's just kind of, and Amtrak just doesn't, I don't know, it's kind of the greatest way to travel, I guess. So, yeah, I was a bit bummed I didn't get credentials to the state banquet, but hopefully, maybe next time. I seem to have established a bit of a connection in Denmark, so hopefully I can continue to cultivate that. So, and let's go ahead and watch this. So this is from Swedish television, and this is from the Nobels. So we are watching the arrivals at the banquet. So after they do the ceremony, again, we are just going to go through my feed because that might be a bit easier today. And watch some of the arrivals here and all the sparkle and glitter. Let's magnify this a little bit. You can see Queen Sylvia of Sweden. She is wearing the Loschenberg sapphire tiara. And she is, I think, struggling a little bit with mobility. She's had a bit of a health issue this year, I think, in terms of respiratory. So I think she's struggling maybe a bit more. And so she is looking great, though. She wears that tiara so well. And so then we cut to a different video and we got them arriving here for the banquet. So I cut out all, oh my gosh, guys. I may have to find it later, but there was an outfit from one of the Swedish commentators. I'm like, oh, a little frightening, a little frightening. So this is them. And then this is Crown Princess Victoria right here. And I gotta say, I think Crown Princess Victoria, I love this. Her tiara sparkling and the top of her dress sparkling. That is magic, guys. That is magic. That is magic. So here they are going down the stairs. And you can see this is the banquet. So my understanding, at least for the press side for this, is that you actually get to sit in there for the banquet with everyone, which I think is super cool. And so I sort of am in love with Victoria's dress. I love the draping. The tiara is a great match. That's the bottom fringe. We have Princess Sophia and like a bright blue number, which I'm really not liking. And then Madeline looks gorgeous in green there. Hoping to get like a full-on view. I love that her dress sparkles. I think that is absolutely fabulous, 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 fabulous. So yes, Victoria looks smashing. So let's keep going down here. And then we get this angle of a Princess Madeline here. So glad she is back in Sweden. It's been way too long without her. I think her last Nobels was probably 2018, 2019 before the pandemic. And then they lived in Florida for a while. So, what I thought was really interesting for this event in particular is that she is wearing actually the emeralds, some of the emeralds pieces from the royal collection. I don't think she's ever worn any of the emeralds before. So, I thought that was sort of interesting. She is also wearing the Conant tiara. Looks like the base is a little bit darker than the hair color she's sporting right now. So I'm kind of curious because when it comes to the base of a tiara, so the velvet is sort of changed out based on your hair color and everything. So I thought it was kind of interesting that they didn't seem to do that for her. And so this is the King of Felipe and Queen Letizia arriving in Italy. And I gotta say, guys, I think Queen Letizia is slaying here. I think this look is slay. I think it looks incredible. She looks amazing. The white, I don't know, the white is amazing. It's incredible. The white just gives me the chills. Absolutely in love with it. And so that was really exciting to see. And then we also have here, we can get kind of a full view of Princess Madeline's look. And it looks like she has sort of a massive train right here. Unless that's somebody else's look, I'm pretty sure that's just her. She has quite the train to this dress. I love the top of it. I love the setup here. Princess Sophia is obviously pregnant. And so she is due, I believe, in February. So she's due early in the year of 2025. And so I understand that it's hard to dress pregnancy. I just think that dress is kind of awful from what I can tell. But Madeline here looks gorgeous. I'd love to see what the dress looks like with the full skirt. I think that would be pretty fabulous. So let's watch my video, guys, of the welcoming ceremony. This is only part of the welcoming ceremony here. And so I was there with the press and I put one of my sort of cameras up to record this. I got to figure out because I don't think the quality is as good as I want it to be, but that might be kind of just the result of maybe a couple different factors. And I got to say, guys, it was very cold. And it's just an opportunity. So they do a couple things. They play each country's national anthem. And it's actually gotten to the point where I've recognized what the Netherlands national anthem is, at least the musicality for it. I do not know a single smidge of the lyrics. And then as I wait here, they kind of do a sort of military evaluation. So it's not included in this video because I kept kind of my camera still so I can actually take pictures with my other camera. So I moved that a bit inconsistently and haven't been able to fully edit everything together yet. But the king then shows around the Portuguese president and to their different troops, and they show sort of respect for them. They bow to some of the troops there. So it's kind of a great welcoming ceremony. But again, you can see Maxima looks cold, and y'all, it was very cold. It was pretty cold. So I do not blame her in the slightest for being a little chilled. I don't know if I would enjoy standing out there. I mean, I'm in, guys, I had my little, actually I took my beanie off because I didn't want to mess with another guy's shot, but I have a cashmere / wool sweater dress on, my Ugg boots, a big thick jacket from North Face, and I still got chilled after a while, to be quite honest. So it was a very chilly. I feel like here the chill kind of seeps into the bones a bit. So anyways, great appearance there by the two of them. Let's see. I don't think there's anything. Oh, yep. There you go. I don't know if you guys caught it, but the wind got a little strong and we're going to be worried about the hat here. Oh. I like how she thinks about it for a second. Do I need to secure my hat? And she decided, yes, I do need to secure my hat. So she definitely felt the chill. We all did. It was hard. It's hard to be outside when it's that cold with the camera because you have to take pictures and your fingers are getting cold and everything. And that's just a bit of a challenge. So guys, that is that. And we got some comments on the polo, which we won't go into because we're talking about the Crown Report today. So we got Queen Sylvia here from the Nobels. I'm not really a fan of, I've never understood, and I'm always curious, why the heck designers put like tissue paper looking things on somebody's dress like that? always been curious what the purpose of that is. What the purpose of that is. So we're going to tilt screen down a smidge. Okay. And go to the next. They're singing the national anthem of Sweden. So I love these shots when you get here and you get the tiara sparkling. It is quite amazing. And let's listen a bit. So very pretty. I don't know what they're saying, obviously, but very pretty. We got, again, looking at Princess Madeline. I just enjoy getting I want to see which tiara they're wearing. It's always very exciting. And so there's a full view of Victoria's. I think Victoria wins for me this time. Although Madeline's a close second, I think Victoria wins for the fashion looks. So we got a look here at Victoria and Sylvia. And then a better look at the Connaught tiara here that Madeline is wearing. Always nice to get a shot of the tiaras. And so keep going past here. And then we got Charles recently. He presented awards to families of police, fire, and other public servants who have been killed in the line of duty. So good to see Charles doing well for sure.
I didn't have to come quite so far as my sister, but
So good to see Charles out doing this because I think Prince William told Donald Trump, or at least this is what Donald Trump said, and you could always sometimes maybe Donald Trump maybe exaggerates slightly some things, but he talked about how Charles is still fighting. So Catherine seems to have gotten somewhat a clean bill of health, whereas Charles is still definitely fighting. He's still definitely getting his treatments. I will say when it came to the Royal Variety Show, I remember seeing some pictures of him and thinking he's really not looking too good. So the comments almost got me worried about what the future for Charles is looking like in terms of his health. So that was definitely a little concerning, but good to see him out and doing an event like this, meaning so much to the families for sure. And we do have, so they do tell you when it comes to the Swedish Nobels in that main table who is sitting where. And so we got this early. So we did know, obviously, that Christopher O'Neill, who's Princess Madeline's husband, was going to attend. And they usually sit the couples away from each other. So Crown Princess Victoria is down here. And then Prince Daniel is up here. Prince Carl Philip. And down here you have Princess Sophia, Princess Madeline, and Christopher O'Neill. So Christopher O'Neill sort of, I don't know if you would call it famously, but he actually decided not to take on a royal title because what I love about Christopher is that I don't think he cares that much about the pomp and ceremony of royalty. I think he kind of all thinks it's a little silly. And he respects his wife, he respects her family and everything, but he's not in it for the money. And I don't think he's in it for the fame either. He sort of detests the press. And I think actually it has a good way of going about detesting the press and it's like actually following the I want privacy thing by not talking to them for the most part. And that is exactly, if you're not somebody who's into the royalty or anything like that, I think that's the exact attitude you need to have because Meghan always comes across as, well, I hated it, but she secretly also loved the attention. So it's like, so which is it? But I always get the sense that Christopher O'Neill just, he's like, okay, I'll do this stuff because I love my wife and, you know, she does things for me, but honestly, this is not his thing, which I kind of love. Again, he wants to do his own thing. He has his own business and he's like not really interested in using royalty in order to enrich himself. Like I've never gotten that sense that he has ever really used the connection he has to Madeline to really do anything other than be like a peripheral member of the family. So I appreciate that for him. Louise asks, hey, Brittany, are you still in Europe? Yes. That is why the stark, boring background here. So I thought I had sort of the perfect setup with the desk I have in this particular hotel. But then I realized when I was going to do my interview with Dan Wooten that you could see the bathroom behind me or the bed. And I just thought neither one of those I feel like is very appropriate for an interview. I just don't feel like it's appropriate for somebody to see where you're sleeping. That might sound a little weird, but it just seems a little unprofessional. And so I created a situation last night where I was able to use the curtains on the other side. But right now I'm actually, there's a kind of a blank wall right here. So I'm just using the wall. The door is right over there. And I'm actually balancing my computer right now because my desk doesn't move on the ironing board. So, in case you're curious, and my light is precariously placed on the thing where you're supposed to put your luggage if you open it, like the little thingy. So, Karma asked, have you purchased any more books? Except for the ones I showed you guys a couple of nights ago. No, I haven't purchased any more. Number one, my suitcase is starting to get a bit too heavy. Once I give out the t-shirts that I have for everyone, I may get one or two more. It just depends. I really want to keep it for, like, I always try to look and see if I can find that book, let's say here in the States or something. So anyways, oh, Gaia says, I love the green curtains with I love the curtain with that green on damn wound. Actually, green felt really nice to see you with your natural complexion. Why, thank you. Maybe I should go back to it because maybe this washes me out. But I just was like, I don't know. I was like, everything was sort of precarious and I kept bumping the ironing board. I was really worried that I would bump the ironing board and my lights would fall off because they had done that several times. So, and I'm also holding my mic, which I usually don't do, but there's not enough space on the ironing board. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know? Okay. So let's keep going down the crazy list. So let's talk about Prince William going to the Notre-Dame. So, guys, I was planning myself to go kind of and watch some of the reopening festivities. I had no idea, and this was perhaps my naivete or whatever, but I had no idea the security would be so tight. So, to just give you guys an idea, the Notre Dame sits on a little island in the middle of the Seine between sort of the two big sides of 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 Paris, really. And the Seine River, this island where the Notre Dame sits, they had basically completely shut off access to that island. You could not literally get to that island unless you had a ticket to the concierge or the Saint Chapelle or something. Can't quite remember what it's called now. But unless you had a ticket to the two of those, you were not getting on that island. Like literally every bridge to it was shut off. And that was only on like the second day on Sunday. So for the reopening day, there was just security everywhere. Even a lot of news outlets were outside. And so I was planning initially on watching it. And I think maybe I said this in a different live stream, but I decided to just leave because honestly, I wouldn't have been able to see anything. I'm pretty sure with the tent and everything, I wouldn't have been able to see anything. But Prince William obviously did go, and it was a great diplomatic moment. And I thought he had a really good interaction with Donald Trump. And obviously, a lot of people are drawing attention to that. And I would argue drawing negative attention to that, at least some. And that's just completely inappropriate. He is, and I did a video on this, it's his job to interact with everyone, dictator to pacifist. Prince William, as a diplomat for the United Kingdom, it is his literal job to interact with everybody and interact with everyone well. So, this is absolutely what William should be doing. And we see him here with French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte. And Prince William was one of the last people to arrive. And I did think it was kind of funny because what is it? That like one of the few times news coverage was ever like a royal sort of was not the absolute center of attention was when Donald Trump arrived because all the news cameras went to Donald Trump, which I thought was really funny. And I did see this comment here and I wanted to mention it. Cats Eat Cookie says, as an addict who has been sober for 7 years, congratulations. That is a tremendous achievement. You are completely correct about Marius. You absolutely have to want it. I think someone like him will have to lose everything before he realizes. Yeah, I think he realizes he's the problem. Yeah, I don't think he knows he's the problem. I really don't think he does. I don't think he recognizes that it's an issue or anything like that. And it's very sad, I think, to see that for somebody because he is so young and he has like basically every opportunity in the world and he squandered it all. And so I think that's difficult. So I thank you so much for sharing. And I know Met Table asked, what are you addicted to? That's not an appropriate question, really. But Kathy, cookies, congratulations. That is fantastic. Unless, of course, you want to share. But that is absolutely fantastic. Congratulations. That is a huge achievement. And I hope really that Marius does find peace at some point. I hope he finds healing, because I think there are a lot of issues. And I understand where his issues come from. He's in a world and yet he's not in a world. He's in a family yet not in a family. He is so, like, he has such a difficult space, I think. But I think also that difficulty that his parents have recognized over the years has led to, not in a positive direction, but has led to indulgence that has resulted in bad situations. So that is what we'll say there. So we got Kristen here as well. People often ignore diplomacy means engaging with people regardless of your political opinion. Exactly. Because one of the things, I don't think I saw this too much, but maybe somebody else mentioned it, is that when it comes to like Donald Trump, people were like mad and like didn't want to follow William anymore or something, or like, why was he meeting with Donald Trump? I'm like, that's what he's supposed to do. And some people are like, well, why is he so happy? Because that's what he's supposed to do. It's one of these things when it comes to royalty, is that he can't shake Donald Trump's hand and then roll his eyes at the camera and like wipe his hand on his pant. That is completely and utterly inappropriate. And you might be surprised. Donald Trump might be, people I understand have polarizing views of him, but he might actually be rather charming. Well, you might not hate him so much. So it's like, you might just go, he's not my favorite person in the world, but he's not that bad either. So let's go ahead and move on. So we've got here, and William met with the 1st Battalion Mercian Regiment today for a Christmas family event and gave out gifts to children. And so he didn't, I guess, show up in a Christmas jumper, but a lot of people were expecting that. And apparently Prince William, for Christmas, the thing he's looking forward to the most is taking his dog on a walk, a long walk, probably with the kids as well, and just enjoying the holiday. Apparently it will be a full house at Sandringham. Obviously no Harry and Meghan, because nobody really wants them there, but everybody else, it sounds like, will be there. So we should see a full family trek to Christmas at the church. So looking forward to that for sure. So good to see William doing events like these. And I got to say, the sheep is kind of awesome. The sheep is so totally awesome. I don't know how helpful a sheep is in the midst of battle, but oh my gosh, they have sheep on their little regiment things. It's so cute. And there's a sheep right there too. Oh, that's very cute. I watched a video earlier today about goats, and I thought that was, it's kind of a funny video about goats. And so I thought that was funny. So anyways, looks like he had a great interaction here. Oh, this is just kind of a funny thing to mention real quick. Harry's book Spare, again, for the 2nd year running, the most traded in book, because nobody wants to keep it, because nobody wants to read it again. So let's go ahead. Oh, let's listen to this a little.
Fantastic. Good morning, you all. How are you doing? How are you? Good, thank you. Yeah, this is a private dog. Back in 2014 at the National Memorial Arboretum. Oh, yes. That was his predecessor. Yeah, that was the thing.
I kind of liked how William gave the sheep another little scratch on his face, going, "Aw."
Unfortunately, the last one was just passed, so he's brand new, this one. So, how old is he? He's 1.5. This one.
Oh, he is 1.5, the goat.
I can see you two holding on tightly. See where Dad is off to. It looks fantastic. It's very smart today. What happens to him? Well, he's going tomorrow on Christmas Eve. He goes up to the Chatsworth Playground, which is at the side of the Chatsworth House. And he goes and gets put in a field full of ewes. So he comes back very tired and grumpy at the end. So that's quite a fun Christmas. Yes, definitely. I always would like to have a good time.
So very cute. Love the goat. Love the goat. Oh, and here we have some pictures I took from today's estate visit. So I'm still figuring out my thing. I should have lightened this a smidge, but I thought this turned out pretty well. We were actually fairly far away. And Catherine Amalia is actually wearing her mother's earrings this evening that she wore earlier today. So you get a look at Queen Maxima's outfit. She obviously has a green dress underneath, but I like sort of the tan look here. I think it's very, very appropriate. Then we got some more pictures here as well. That didn't turn out super well. I think I need to go back through and maybe update with some of the better pictures. And I love this picture, although they turned out a little blurry, with the flag as they walk out to do the inspection of the troops. So, guys, I need to pull in because I think actually when I was looking at my pictures on my phone later, I think they turned out a bit better, but because the quality might not show up too well. But here is looking at Dom Square where we're all at. So you can see the bands right here, the square. They have these lovely lights all around. And so it's really, really fun. And so in the Danish embassy in Poland, they have just put up a picture of Queen Mary and King Frederick. So, and King Felipe and Queen Letizia as well, they went to a recent church service in honor of some of those. And I think overall, those who had been killed in Valencia after the catastrophic floodings that happened, I believe, on October 30th or 31st. I can't quite remember which day it was. So, I would argue this has been one of the most challenging, you could say, time periods within the Spanish monarchy in many ways. They faced like a big potential challenge because they were not well accepted into the community initially after the disaster. So this has been a big, big thing for them for sure. So I love this very much. I feel like it's a very soft image for Letizia and Felipe. So I think bravo to them for doing this again. And I think handling the situation in Valencia so well. So this is them arriving and everything. And then we also had a sad situation in The Hague. And I don't know if this has gotten, you could say, any better or not, or where they are at in the investigation, although I should know because I'm actually in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. But there was an explosion at an apartment building in The Hague that has killed at least 6 people. King Wilhelm Alexander, Queen Maxima, they did a survey of it on Monday. And it seems like, as far as I can tell, at least the last thing I looked, this is not particularly, this could actually be a planned event by somebody because they're trying to look at or try to find a car that sped away from the scene. And it's not being sort of, at least as far as I can tell, you'll have to excuse me because I'm not totally up on all the Dutch news, but it seems like this was not like a gas line explosion or something, because that does happen, of course. So if anybody else, here in the Netherlands, because we have a couple of people from the Netherlands in the chat, if you guys know, please let me know, because I'm just not entirely sure, to be quite honest. And so this was really sweet. So this is actually a sort of exchange program within Belgium where certain troops, Belgian troops, can go and do some additional training in France. And as it turns out, the king and queen's son, who is this young man right there, I believe that is Gabriel, was doing some of that training. So his parents went out to see him. And I got to say, I do love Queen Matilda's outfit here. I think that's kind of cute. It's not like something I would always look out for, but I think it is rather cute. And I believe this man is from one of the French legions or something. And so their son is representing Belgium there. And Belgium obviously is sort of split where you have people who speak, half the country speaks Dutch, half the country speaks French. So he obviously he grew up speaking both languages. He probably speaks at least 3, so English, Dutch, and French. So I always think that's interesting. I found it interesting because one of the things I heard, and if you're from Sweden, maybe you can clarify for me or not, but I've actually heard one of the first languages people learn in some of the Scandinavian countries is actually English, which I find actually very smart, because when it comes to like Swedish language, yes, you need to learn it and stuff, but when it comes to like interacting with the rest of the world, let's go with Denmark. There's only 6 million people in Denmark, and the population of the world is 7 billion plus. So doesn't always behoove you to obviously focus too much on your native tongue when knowing a language that's more universal is preferable. Spain doesn't have that issue because a lot of people speak Spanish. So I just found that really interesting. So we also have there were a variety of churches, which I thought was really cool, that also participated in Together at Christmas. So let's listen to some of this.
The theme is empathy and showing gratitude for those who have supported others in their times of need.
So I really love how I feel like for this year for Together at Christmas, Catherine really focused on people like caregivers. I found that really telling given the year that she's had. Obviously, not only her own health issues, but her father-in-law's health issues as well. That having people around you that you can lean on is incredibly important thing. So I think it's wonderful that that she's focusing on that and really focusing on the caregivers and those who help others. So very, very exciting as well.
Of Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales Together at Christmas services, which is very special. I know she's giving a message out to each and every person attending, which will be very well received.
It's very powerful, very encouraging. It's important that our voices are heard.
So yeah, I love the emphasis on growing communities through this program.
Important to know that we have empathy in the community.
To be with everyone else who work with empathy and compassion with patients, and also to be with everyone who works within the community or in the hospitals. It's all very good to join the dots and all be together. And
so yeah, a lot of togetherness, and that's obviously the message of Together at Christmas. So Catherine is really starting to grow this program, and I think really trying to make it it's become very much a staple in not only the royal calendar, but I feel like the calendar of the UK as well.
And celebrate together and help one another.
And I think at the moment, as we come up to Christmas, people really feel that they need to think about others, have empathy towards others, which is exactly what Her Royal Highness wants us to do.
Aw. Very nice. And I know a lot of people are waiting for the Wales' Christmas picture. I'm not like waiting with bated breath for that, but I know a lot of people are. So this is actually kind of interesting, guys. So this is literally, I just happened to catch this. I was crossing the street, looked back, a police officer came flying by, stopping traffic, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a motorcade. There's actually a line from a show where somebody goes, everybody loves a motorcade. And so I don't know quite if I love a motorcade, but I do actually really was excited to actually see this. So this was the arrival of the Portuguese president here. So you can get an idea of the amount of security. And as some people mentioned, I didn't put this in the initial post, but I agree. This is definitely what Harry and Meghan Markle want. So the Portuguese president is in this car, in case you're wondering. So it is, yeah, able to get there. Okay, now I just realized somebody mentioned the Swedish Nobel. Oh no, I did do a lot of the little videos I had done in the Swedish Nobels. So I was thinking I had missed them. And Catherine as well, this has made the news that has made the short list as one of the Times People of the Year. Now she is, I guess, on the short list to be the person of the year, but I really think that's going to be probably somebody related to the US election. I don't think it'll be Catherine, but it's been really interesting for her this year because as she has left the limelight in many ways to take her cancer treatments and then recover from it, well, surgery, cancer treatments, and recovery, she has been in some ways the most talked about woman in the world. She disappears and becomes the most talked about woman in the world. Whereas Meghan Markle disappears, and yeah, there's some like sort of forced conversation about, oh, where's Meghan? But nobody really cares quite as much. So that has been definitely an interesting thing for Catherine this year for sure. And we do have an upcoming, now this is for obviously the state visit between the Portugal and the Netherlands, but there is actually going to be a state visit between the Netherlands and Cyprus next year. So I will not be going for that as far as I'm aware. And Empress Masako turned 69 on December 9th. And when it comes to birthdays as well, Princess Katharina Amalia turned 21, I think 7th, 8th of December. And I almost feel sorry for her because her 18th birthday got overshadowed by COVID. And then there was supposed to be some sort of concert for her 21st birthday, and the explosion in The Hague sort of diminished all that. So, yeah, that obviously a little disappointing for her, I'm sure. And then let's move on to, I wanted to talk very briefly and look at this article about what Donald Trump said about Prince William. So he said he gushed about Prince William after their meeting in Paris over the weekend and said they had a great talk. And he said he's a good looking guy. He looked really very handsome last night, as Trump exclusively told the Post. I don't know why we need to know that. I don't know why we need to know that. I guess to kind of put the screws to Harry, I guess. He says, some people look better in person. He looked great. He looked really nice. And I told him that. Bravo, Mr. Trump. That's kind of funny, to be honest. That's kind of funny. Anyways. Let's see. He says more here. He says, I had a great talk in a golden tie. Trump smartly matched a wallpaper. He really did. I was hoping they showed that. During their discussion, they talked about the cancer scares in the House of Windsor. And Trump says, I asked him about his wife, and he said she's doing well. And I asked him about his father, and his father is fighting very hard. And he loves his father, and he loves his wife. So it was sad. We had a great talk for a half an hour, a little more than a half an hour. We had a great, great talk. So lots of greats there. Glad to see that Donald Trump was happy with his meeting. And again, some people, I know people are polarized in their opinion on Donald Trump, but that's not really the issue here. And because William having a good relationship with Donald Trump is perfect because sometimes the government of the United Kingdom will not have a good relationship with Donald Trump. But as long as William has a good relationship with Donald Trump and Charles has a good relationship with Donald Trump will be happy. And that's exactly what the UK needs, is Donald Trump happy. So I don't see what the big issue is of this. Trump is a really big fan. And I might have said this on another live stream I did fairly recently, but sorry, my nose is a little bit itchy and sniffly. But I would imagine, and this is just my guess, Trump might get another state visit. I only say that because Charles is now king. Previously, it was Queen Elizabeth. And the UK definitely will want to keep a good relationship with Trump now because it is a government thing. They might go, well, we don't really want to have a relationship, or we don't want to host a Donald Trump. We want to wait till whoever is next in the White House. But pretty much every US president gets a state visit. Biden was an interesting exception, but you obviously had COVID in the midst of that as well. So I don't quite know, but that would be maybe my guess. If somebody knows a US president who did not get a state visit, Gerald Ford, maybe? I'm not sure. So I'm just spitballing, trying to think. But I thought that was really something interesting. And obviously, Donald Trump, he's just kind of a character. He just is. People take some of what he says way too seriously. I just think sometimes what you need to do is take him with a grain of salt. But he seems to really like William. I think that's great. And he seemed to enjoy their interactions. And so again, we do have Maxima and Wilhelm Alexander examining this explosion site. And the loss of 6 lives is very serious. Obviously, there's 3 levels here. And they took out the chunk of apartments between here would be my guess. So we'll have to see where everything falls. And so I guess there's a new documentary, which I haven't seen yet because I've been going from thing to thing to thing. But there is a amazing documentary where the king surprised a group of women who had been picked from all over Canada to travel to the UK for the Queen's coronation in 1953. And so they returned 70 years later. So I thought that was really cool. We also have an update on a country I don't cover much, is Morocco. So King Mohammed VI fell and had a shoulder injury, so he is requiring surgery and he will be immobilized for a period of time, or his arm will. So that is obviously sad to update. And so, Embassy of Spain, UK. Let's talk about history, because history is always fun. And we have today at Westminster Abbey, we honor Eleanor of Castile, Queen of England, who married Edward I in 1254. Eleanor died in 1290. So long ago. Edward ordered memorial crosses to be placed at each stop of the funeral procession between Lincoln and Westminster. One of these is the Charing Cross. So very cool to remember that. Just so cool. And Prince William did an awesome thing, because he went from, he had, let's say, a diplomatic high, a family high on Friday with the Christmas carols, a diplomatic high and a world leader high on Saturday with the Notre-Dame and meeting Donald Trump and everything, and then a charity high by going back to passages and helping to serve meals to the homeless. So I just thought that was really good. You see very much his personal interaction there. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. William is doing an amazing job. He's doing an amazing job. So guys, and then I had my kind of post about how, William's personal opinion on Trump doesn't matter. This is the same for every royal. Their personal opinion on a politician really doesn't matter. Yes, they do have ones they like better than others, but their job is to get along with everyone equally. And we do have their Majesty's Christmas card. It was taken by Millie Pinkleton. And so she is the photographer who captured the personal pictures for Catherine and William for their wedding. She's done other pictures of the Wales' family, and other royals. So she did their pictures. We also have, the Belgian royals were at the reopening of the Notre-Dame. The only, I would say, notable absence in terms of Catholic monarchs that are currently reigning who did not attend this event would be obviously Spain. And it might have been, conflicted with Valencia, and they had the state visit coming up. So it's kind of understandable, but obviously a notable exception. Although somebody said, and I wasn't able to confirm this based on what I saw in the crowds, but apparently the Spanish government itself didn't want King Felipe and Queen Letizia to attend. But they went on their own volition and weren't really photographed. So I find that interesting. So I would be curious if anybody has any more notion on that. Let me know. I find that really fascinating. Ella says, "Hey, Brittany, I just tuned in. You seem to be everywhere in Northwest Europe. Are you planning to go to Belgium too?" So I'm not planning to go to Belgium right now. I almost thought about trying to get to their state visit instead with Oman. So I was like, I could see a tiara appearance, but I couldn't find a media contact. I'm like, well, I'm making my trip too hard on myself. And I'm glad I didn't, because obviously I ended up going to Denmark. But I don't have any plans right now, but if there's an event where I feel like, okay, this would be a great event to go to, I would obviously amend my plans. So, well, not right now, but in some point in the future, I may plan to go. It's not that I'm like purposely avoiding it, Belgium. I actually went through Belgium when I was taking the Eurostar. And I do have to say, guys, I really enjoy taking the Eurostar. So much better transportation. I enjoy taking trains. Kind of feel like Sheldon. I like trains. Not all the time, but sometimes. And again, I find it so funny that Donald Trump's tie really matched the room they were meeting in. Very funny. And let's listen to a bit of Donald Trump, William here, because I didn't get to share this earlier.
What a nice group. He's a good man, this one.
So yeah, Donald Trump doing Donald Trump stuff. So
Hello, everybody. It's doing a fantastic job. Thank you.
So I will say as well, I saw somebody complain, why did William get a picture with Donald Trump? I was like, this is what they do with meetings like this. Like, this is what they do. This is not a surprise. This is not out of the ordinary. This is not anything that anybody needs to be worried about. So I just found, again, so much of it is so ridiculous. So I do love this little video, because I just wonder, what are they talking about? Queen Matilda, I haven't seen her in person yet, but she just seems so sweet. She just seems like the sweetest person. Now, Grand Duchess Maria Theresa is kind of known as the Meghan Markle of Luxembourg, so I don't know how wonderful she is in person, but I think Queen Matilda seems like so lovely and sweet to me. So lovely and sweet. And then we have obviously Donald Trump here as well. Again, good to share this again. Him interacting with the royals there, having a good chat there really quickly with Albert and Queen Matilda. And looks like they have just a good little moment there. And so then he meets obviously King Felipe as well. And the Luxembourg royals there. And then he met with William. Obviously, William's plane was delayed due to weather, which I understand. Apparently, it was very blustery in the UK. And it was pretty blustery and actually in France as well. So, again, just fun. And let's see if there's anything new to look at here real quick, because we might have missed things. Okay, so we got the Dutch estate visit. Maxima, I love the Dutch Ruby Mellorio tiara, one of my favorites. It's an absolutely gorgeous piece. Carol says, do Belgium and Luxembourg share a border? Yes, and they share a history as well. The Bulgarians, Burgundians or something, they share a common history there. So you got Maxima there, and then this is the Portuguese president, and this is Amalia. I just can't decide if I like these or not. I can't decide, but her dress looks pretty awesome from what I can see. Oh, and this woman, this is a fashion no. If she was gonna wear like obviously wear a bra, but wear a nude one, not a white one, because the white one really shows up. Just saying, or red. Shaz says, mine too, Brittany. I love anything ruby. It's my birthstone. It is not mine because mine is diamonds, so I get to enjoy the diamonds. But I love rubies as well. Actually, although emeralds are one of my favorites too. But anyways, I'm not sure which necklace here Amalia is wearing, but a pretty substantial one. And this is actually the first tiara she's worn. So I believe she's worn now, I know 3. She's worn at least 3 from her family's collection. She apparently is a tiara aficionado. So hopefully one day, maybe she stumbles across royal fashion news and she becomes a fan, and that gets me into banquets. So just saying there. Okay, so there's the main table with the royals. We don't have as well. We don't have, who do we not have? We don't have Princess Beatrix, so that's King Wilhelm Alexander's mother, and we do not have Princess Margaret, who is Beatrix's sister. They did show up for the Spanish state visit, but that might have been because it's Spain, and there's a closer connection between the Netherlands and Spain, and you obviously have the royal connection. I'm really hoping for sometime maybe next year, a state visit between the Netherlands and Denmark, because we do have the change in leadership there. It might be some other time, but I would really love that, because I think it's almost funner when the state visits are with other royals, because you get double the tiaras, most likely, or at least you get one more tiara, but you also get more of the family showing up. I think they do more events together. I feel like the Spanish visit was much more condensed, like had a lot more activities than this one. So this is it. Again, love Letizia there. She almost looks too perfect. And we have some pictures of the future Grand Duke of Luxembourg and his family and his kids, Charles, and I'm blanking on Francois, I believe. So that's Princess Stephanie, and they just look cute as a button with their kids. And they take their kids on a lot of engagements, which I find super adorable, because I think people love their kids. So we got some updated and better pictures here. Queen Maxima and the Dutch Mellorio. Oh, I love the look of this tiara. It's just amazing. Gotta say, the tiara is absolutely stunning here. And then we got Amalia. She looks so cute, but I just don't really like the tendrils down her face. I don't really like them. But other than that, I think she looks adorable. She looks adorable. So let's see if we don't have, oh, that's a screenshot. So there might be a YouTube video here that we can watch later. Oh, somebody did a video of Madeline's dress, but you can't see the whole thing, but it looks great. It looks great. So guys, and here we have the Spanish royals are doing sort of a pre-engagement before the official state visit starts tomorrow. So looks like everything is going splendidly over there, y'all. Oh, do we have a full look? I'm going to go with I like Amalia's dress. I'm going to go with I like it. Now, she did obviously receive a sash as well, a royal order from Portugal, but it's not as high as her parents. You can tell because her parents have this little, I'm not sure the actual term for it, but I'm going to call it a necklace. And I know it's not a necklace, but we're going to call it a necklace. So they have this across their shoulders. Amalia does not. So she got a lower ranking one. She'll get probably a higher ranking one once she becomes queen and hosts her own state visit with Portugal. But Maxima looks fabulous. I do like that dress. I think it's one of the I can't remember how to pronounce his last name, but he's one of my favorite royal wedding designers. And then we have Amalia. I do like the color. Ooh, and she's decked out on some really, ooh, look at how big that is. Can you imagine being her age? She's 21 and she gets to not only raid her mother's closet, but raid, her grandmother, her great grandmother's closet for their impressive jewelry pieces. That's just, I can't wait till Alexia does her first date visit. That would be so fun. So guys, so much going on here. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it and everything going on because there's just so much. So I hope this is probably a little bit of a different type of royal, the Crown Report situation. So we won't have one next week. The week after that, I believe is Christmas Eve. So we will not be having one probably the next 2 or 3 weeks. So guys, just wanted to let you guys know that because obviously I will be officially on the trip next week with the followers. I try not to do things I may have some things recorded that I can edit. Maybe if I have some downtime in the evening after everything has wrapped up. But I try not to do anything while I'm on those trips just because I want to spend every time with those who are on the trip with me. So that'll be so fun. Asma says they're live on Saturday. What day is Saturday? Trying to remember what day Saturday is. So maybe. We're going to go with maybe. So it'll be later in the afternoon. So it might work. I'll have to think about it. It depends on where I'm at because by that point, I should have arrived probably in Berlin. Golly, that's only a couple days away. It's so fast. So I'll have to double check that. So I'll keep you guys posted as soon as I know. So guys, anyways, thank you so much for tuning in to this sort of different version of the Crown Report. I will be, and members only live stream. We will definitely be trying to do a members only live stream this week. So it'll probably be on Thursday. I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. So I will try to let you guys know as soon as I figure out, get my travel plans ironed out because don't have everything. So, but that is my plan definitely to do a members only live stream. And then it'll be after Christmas. It's coming up so fast, guys. My goodness. So, guys, I will let you guys go. If there's another, if I feel like it's really cool to do a live tomorrow, I may do that after I finish up covering Maxima and Wilhelm Alexander. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this a bit of a different episode of the Crown Report. I appreciate it so much. Have a wonderful evening, day, wherever you are. And I shall see you guys again very soon. Bye.